Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's meal prep, I'm going to show you a couple of lunches that I'm having this week, and then also I needed some drop biscuits for dinner tonight, so I went ahead and just whipped those up, and I'm just going to show you those in this video as well. So this is super simple, great for beginners. So let's get into today's meal prep. We're going to start with marinating the chicken for my Greek chicken bowls. So in my bowl here, I am just adding in the chicken. I'm going to add in some olive oil, some minced garlic, a tablespoon of oregano, a teaspoon of paprika, and some salt and pepper. So very simple. I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. Just makes it easier to use boneless, skinless chicken for meal prep bowls. That way you don't have to worry about it. You can just mix it all together and eat it when you have it for lunch. It just makes it so much simpler. So I'm going to go ahead and let this marinate while I am doing the rest of my meal prep, because it's best to let this marinate for at least 30 minutes, but I always say at least an hour for most marinades if you can't do it overnight. While that is marinating, we're going to go to our next lunch, which is going to be some Fathead Dough wrapped sausages. So Ashley over at Gal had these for dinner one night, and she showed it on her channel. So I am taking some of these chicken sausages from Adele's. I'm going to make some Fathead Dough. So in my bowl here, I have 1 3/4 cups of mozzarella cheese that I shredded myself, and 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. You're going to microwave that for 1 minute, give it a stir just like this, and then you're going to put it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds, and then it'll look like this. Then we're going to do the rest of the ingredients. So in my little bowl here, we have 3/4 cup of almond flour, and to that I'm just adding in some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some onion powder. So it just depends what kind of, seasonings you want. Do whatever you want with your Fathead Dough. When I make it into pizza, I do add sometimes a few more different seasonings. Oh, I did add some Italian herbs in this as well. So I'm going to put all those in there, give it a good stir, and then we're going to add it to our bowl with our cheeses. So go ahead and just add in your flour mixture and then add in 1 egg. Now you're going to stir that around really well. Sometimes it's just best to get in there with your hands. That's what I always end up doing, is just getting in there with my hands and making sure it's all mixed up. It's usually that pesky egg that does not want to get mixed up in there. If your dough is too hard to work with because your cheese is too stringy, go ahead and put it in the microwave for like another 30 seconds, and then that'll really help with that stringiness. But I just usually get in there with my hands, and then we are going to form some balls to go ahead and wrap around our sausages. So there's my dough. I'm going to split this up into 8 equal parts, as equal as I can get. And then 4 of those will be wrapped around the sausages. I didn't cook the sausages or anything because they're going to be in the oven for about 15 minutes anyway. So just kind of wrap them around, just work that dough around. Try to touch the dough as little as possible because it is sticky and it can be kind of a pain sometimes. So I just took all 4 of those dough balls and I just wrapped them around my sausages, and I'm putting them on a parchment lined sheet over there off to the side. And I'm just, with the other 4 balls that I had left over, I'm just going to go ahead and put those on the sheet, and then that way they can just cook up and we can just have a little snacky snack. These are going to go into a 425 degree oven for about 14-15 minutes. Just really depends on your oven. My oven tends to cook a little bit hot, so I always go in the lower end. I believe the recipe I did find, it said 14 to 17 minutes, so I just did 15, and that came out perfect. While those are in the oven, we're going to move on to our drop biscuits. I am making a soup for dinner tonight, and so I want some drop biscuits with those. I'm going to make some savory drop biscuits. In my bowl here, I have 1.5 cups of almond flour, adding in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Also going to add in a 1/4 cup of sour cream, some salt, 2 eggs, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter that I actually forgot to add till the very end, so you will see that. Like I said, I'm making these savory because this is a savory soup that it's going with, so I'm adding in also some freshly grated cheddar cheese, some garlic powder, onion powder, some Italian herbs, and some salt and pepper. So you can really do a lot with these drop biscuits. You don't have to add any of those savory ingredients, and then you have a really good drop biscuit, just a plain one that is super good for like biscuits and gravy. So fantastic. This is such a versatile drop biscuit. I have never made it into a sweet biscuit, but I imagine you probably could. You could probably add some sweetener to it and then also add in maybe some cinnamon or something. I don't know. I really feel like this is a really good, just a basic drop biscuit recipe. So I'm going to stir this up really well. Again, like I said, I did forget to put in the melted butter, so it was in the microwave, so I did go ahead and put that in on top, and that's 2 tablespoons. I will have all these recipes linked down below, by the way. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I do meal prep videos every single Monday. You'll see them on my channel. I film them on Sundays. They get uploaded on Mondays. I love meal prepping, and I love to do recipes that are really good for beginners, for people who may have never done meal prepping before. That's why I like to do really non-intimidating recipes. These are super simple, quick. They're also things that you just have ingredients on hand for most of the time. So give me a thumbs up if you like meal prep videos. Give me a thumbs up down in the comment section. Give me the thumbs up emoji. Let's just do that. And then if you meal prep this week, let me know what you meal prepped. I like to hear what everybody is meal prepping out there so we can share it with everyone and give everybody some ideas. Now that everything is all mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and use this is my Pampered Chef brownie pan, but I love using it for these drop biscuits. It is perfect. So I'm just taking my ice cream scoop, cookie scoop, whatever you call it here, and this makes 9 biscuits, which is so fantastic, 9 biscuits. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop 9 equal portions into my pan here, and then once those Fathead Dough wrapped sausages are done, these are going to go right into the oven. You do want to decrease your oven heat to about 400 though, and you're only going to cook these for 10 minutes. So I did take those out and decrease my oven and let it sit there for probably not long enough to really decrease down to 400 degrees, but you know. Anyway, so these will go into a 400 degree oven for 10 minutes. And here are our sausages. You guys, how good do these look? They look so amazing. Only thing I wish I would have done was maybe put some cheese in there, because I used to make like crescent roll wrapped hot dogs with cheese. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, let's put these aside. We are going to work on the side dish that's going to go along with these here in just a little bit. Now we're going to make the salad that goes along with that chicken that we're marinating right now. So this is a Greek salad. I'm going to be chopping up a bell pepper. This is a red bell pepper, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and chop that up. I also have some mini cucumbers. So I'm using 2 mini cucumbers, 1 whole red bell pepper. This is going to make 3 portions. And then I'm also have some romaine lettuce we'll be adding in with this as well. It does call for some red onion, but honestly I forgot, and then I hate cutting up onions anyway, so I thought, you know what, it's okay, we don't need any red onion in this. But just so you know, the original recipe does call for red onion, so if you want some red onion in this, it definitely it goes really well with the salad. I've had the salad before, so it does go really well, and I may cut some up later in the week. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, so we're chopping up our red bell pepper into some pretty big chunks. I like them to be chunky. And then I'm going to cut up the mini cucumbers next, toss them in there. And then I just have some romaine lettuce. The reason why I'm using romaine lettuce, for this you want to use romaine lettuce or kale, because they do hold up to the dressing. I do put the dressing on this, and it does hold up really well for the whole week. Romaine lettuce, I find, works really well for this, and like I said, also kale. It doesn't get really soggy or anything, and I'll probably eat this the first couple days of the week. But anyway, so I'm just chopping up, roughly chopping up the romaine lettuce. I like it a little bit chunky. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that in here, and then that is what our salad is going to look like. We're going to set that aside because it is time to go ahead and put the chicken in the air fryer. So we're going to add that in there, then we're going to make a dressing for this salad. Like I said, I'm using my air fryer, so I have it set to 400 degrees, and I'm just going to put all 3 of these chicken thighs, making sure that, marinade and all that yummy garlic is all over that. And this is going to cook for 25 minutes, and their thighs tend to take a little bit longer to cook than chicken breasts. Now we're going to go ahead and make the dressing for this salad. So you are going to need, it's just so simple, so simple. You are going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to need 1/2 of a teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, some salt and pepper, some parsley. I'm doing about 1/2 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and then we are just going to whisk that together. You can see how creamy it gets. I'm not even sure what makes it that creamy, but it always turns out so nice and creamy when you whisk it up. This stuff is so good. And I'm gonna go ahead and then pour that right over that salad. Like I said, I haven't had any issues with soggy romaine lettuce when I've done it with this. I meant to pick up some kale. Kale is so good, and this kale is so good for you. So if you have any kale on hand, I would highly recommend using kale for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mix that around. I did end up adding in a little bit more pink Himalayan salt to this because it wasn't quite salty enough. So just adjust it to your, seasoning preference for sure. Now I got my meal prep bowls out. I'm going to go ahead and just portion the salad out between the 3. Normally, yes, you probably would want to weigh it out, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I knew this was 3 servings, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it as even as I can amongst all of my meal prep bowls. And this is what that ended up looking like right there. And now we're going to add in some feta cheese. So feta cheese is yummy. So I'm going to go ahead and just add just a little bit on there. Again, I should have weighed it out, but it's definitely less than 1 ounce what I'm putting on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. We're going to set these aside while our chicken is cooking, and then we are going to move on to our side dish for our sausage wrapped Fathead Dough sausage thingies. Pigs in a blanket, that's what they're called. Word was escaping me this whole entire video. We're going to make some coleslaw. In my bowl here, we are adding in 1/2 cup of mayo, 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of sweetener. I did forget to put that in till the very end, so don't forget your 2 tablespoons of sweetener, 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and some salt and pepper. So you're gonna mix this up really well. Just whisk it like crazy until it's just all nice and mixed up. And I put a lot of pepper in mine, just so you know, because I love peppery coleslaw. I actually end up putting even more on top. And then you're gonna take a 16-ounce bag of coleslaw mix, the tricolored coleslaw mix that doesn't come with any dressing. And I'm just gonna put that in there and we're gonna mix it around. Now, as usual, coleslaw, the longer it sits, the more the flavors combine, and it is so good, so good. But these are gonna go in my meal prep containers. So, and then the rest of it I'm just gonna save to have for the week, for lunches or a snack, or maybe to go with dinner. So I have my 2 meal prep containers here. I'm just gonna put 1 each of the pigs in a blanket, and then we're going to do about 3/4 cup of the coleslaw in that other compartment. And that is going to be one of my yummy, or 2 for 2 days this week of my yummy lunches. This is the chicken out of the air fryer. Doesn't it look just yummy? It's actually been sitting there for about 10 minutes to rest before I cut it. That way all the juices don't come running out of it. I'm going to go ahead and slice these up, and then we are going to put them atop of the salad in there. And this is going to be so good. So I'm going to have this 3 times this week. So these will be my 2 lunches that I'm having for the week. And this concludes my meal prep for the week. You can see I'm all set up for my lunches. And you guys, this is so easy, so simple. If you're new to meal prepping, these are recipes that you definitely would not feel intimidated to do. I will have everything linked down below or written out below, one or the other, and let me know what you guys are meal prepping for the week. I want to hear it. If you're not subscribed, I hope you will take a moment to do so and give this video a thumbs up and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.